Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Well, the politics isn't getting boring now, is it? Things are actually starting to heat up. Marjorie Taylor Greene is having daily meltdowns about Mike Johnson. We've got Trump legal cases in the news. We've got an eclipse coming up that I'm going to be reading on probably this weekend as we get somewhat closer. I want to find out its impacts on Donald Trump amongst others. We've got his court case starting the week after next. But also, and we've got funding bills for Ukraine, Taiwan, Palestine, and Israel. But also we've got the Mayorkas House impeachment that happened in the House. The House impeachment managers are going to be presenting this to the Senate next week. I'll be really curious to see if the impeachment managers have a solemn procession like the Democrats did the two times they impeached Trump. The only president who's ever been impeached twice. Just saying. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be one of the impeachment managers as she tries to flex and crow to be Donald Trump's vice presidential candidate. Just flexing her I own the lib muscles there. The hot rumor on this thing is that Schumer will probably bring it to the floor and schedule a vote either to dismiss the impeachment or to motion or do a motion to table the charges. They're not sure which way it's going to go, but the Democrats are likely to vote to dismiss. I think tabling only requires a simple majority. Is that what this article said here? Any motion to dismiss or table the charges would need a simple majority, and the Democrats hold a 51 to 49 seat advantage. Plus, there's Republicans. Susan Collins said it appears that Mayorkas was carrying out the policies of the White House. Lisa Murkowski said a battle over Mayorkas, a partisan battle over Mayorkas, would be a detour from the important work that's going on. And Mitt Romney said if there's a policy difference, it's with the president, not with the secretary that reports to him. So there's at least two, if not three, Republicans who would not be voting to proceed with a trial. But let's see how the energy looks for Mayorkas and Schumer in the Senate next week. Entertainment purposes only. What do we got? Ace of Swords. Here comes the justice. There was a quote in here. It's like, this was an impeachment searching for a crime or something along those lines. I forget how that... that was... who was it that said that? Somebody had a great quote. Even Manchin wants to get rid of this thing. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I can't find the quote. I'm not going to pause the video, look for it. Ace of Swords. Sword of Justice and Truth. Here we go. We're going to bring this thing over here. The Senate knows that this is just theatrics by the House GOP. And justice. Yeah, I'm expecting Ace of Pentacles. Go ahead, bring us this. This is the low energy Ace of Pentacles. Now, Susan Murkowski says, we have important things to do. Sure. But this impeachment underneath it, it's total fool's gold. This is worthless, valueless, just performative art for social media clicks. This means low energy stuff. Ace of Swords, justice. This thing is going to get dismissed. They're not going to table it. They're going to flat out dismiss it. In the past, we've got the Eight of Wands. This is the trial of Mayorkas. Honestly, I think Mitt Romney said it best. I will paraphrase him. He's just the coffee boy. Basically, he's the messenger for the president. You don't impeach the messenger for the president. You don't like what Mayorkas is doing? That's not Mayorkas's call. It's the White House's call. You're barking up the wrong tree. This is why literally the Senate Republicans have a collective eye roll going on here with the House Republicans. Not all of them, but I would guess most of the senators feel that way. Current situation is the 10 of coins. We have fool's gold here and just worthlessness coming out of the House right now. The House GOP is just raining worthless values onto the Senate. The Senate doesn't want to take this impeachment and vote to have a trial because it's going to tarnish their legacy. They see there's no value in here. The House isn't following the norms of Congress. They're out on their own doing crazy stuff. Overarching energy is the 3 of coins. I'm sure in the Senate there's lots of conversations about, talking smack about the crazies in the House. Absolutely talking smack. Now, the Senate isn't not exactly a House United itself, but it's more normal than the House is. The House is just the inmates. This is like the inmates running the asylum happening in the House here. Things are a bit calmer in the Senate, but it's no walk in the park in the Senate either. Lesson to be learned is the Knight of Cups. Again, here comes the impeachment articles. They're not done in good faith. They're worthless. It's a sham. You're going after the messenger. You're throwing away all the norms. You're cheapening impeachment. Impeachment should be a rare thing. Yet, congratulations, you've impeached the first cabinet member in almost 200 years. Way to go, team. There's just normal politics is out the window when you're dealing with folks like this. Outcome is the King of Wands. Yeah, this is going to be Schumer. He's going to bring this forward. He's going to motion to dismiss, and it's going to pass probably by a large margin. I would certainly think the Democrats are going to vote for it to dismiss it, and I suspect a number of Republicans will also vote. I'm curious, though, and I'm going to have to read on that energy, because, we are still talking about Trump. And, it might be... Lindsey Graham, for instance, will vote to impeach. Lindsey Graham knows better than to do that. Lindsey Graham absolutely knows better than to do that. Because he knows this is a bunch of crap. But he's also beholden to Trump. I would say any senator that's running in... Well, if they're running in a protected red, like if you're Tommy Tuberville, which he's not running, but if you're like a senator from Alabama, you can be as crazy as you want to be, and you'll probably be just fine. I don't think like Montana or, again, some deep red states aren't, you can go ahead and try and get Mayorkas thrown out, but maybe some of the border states because... you got to own the libs and stuff. Ted Cruz will probably... I'm curious how Ted Cruz would vote on this. Because it's Texas and it's the border and everything. And Ted Cruz is pretty darn red as far as things go. But how are the GOP senators going to react? What's the energy around the expectations of their vote? I wonder if Mitch McConnell is going to tell them to vote their conscience. Eight of Coins, working. Apprentice mastery. Just doing the repetitious work, things of value. You got to do what you got to do type of thing. I think what that's saying is there's not going to be any surprises here. There's going to be a number of senators that vote to have the trial, but there might be again about 8 or so that say no, we're not doing that. 7 or 8, yeah. They've got to go out there and show that they're fighting for Republican causes and protecting the border and stuff like that, and they're going to count on the fact that their constituents that vote Republican, they get all their information from Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax, and not through critical thinking. So it doesn't matter. These folks don't have to understand sham trials and sham impeachments because they're not interested. So you don't have to be logical with them. You just have to show that you're a fighter and that you're carrying on those hardworking blue-collar Republican values that Trump espouses. That sort of thing. In the past, as the government, before, we would follow Republican leadership and the Republicans would be in lockstep with each other. Those days seem to be past. They're more fighting with each other than in lockstep, as a reading I did just last night regarding Kevin McCarthy and folks primarying Bob Good and their opponents. Current situation, the Empress, they're going to vote however benefits them. Not what's right for the country, but however benefits them. If voting to impeach Mayorkas benefits them, that's what they're going to do. If voting to not impeach him benefits them, that's what they're going to do. More will vote to impeach than not. Because, their base don't care. Look at all these major arcana, though. This is really coming out interesting. More major arcana. Overarching energy. It's manifestation and illusion. To me, this is an illusion. This is just carrying on the illusion that the Republicans fight for the everyday man, the everyday blue-collar guy. And that, Mayorkas is allowing all these illegal immigrants to invade over the border. And, they have to fight to keep them out because the government's not doing anything. They're going to come for your jobs and your livelihood. But it's a total frickin' illusion. It's not happening. Are there problems at the border? Apparently there are. But it's not the problems that the Republicans are saying they are. It's an illusion in that regard. And they don't want to do anything about it because, as we all know, the House passed a bill, a bipartisan bill, that was going to give the strictest immigration policies in the last 30 to 40 years. Everything the Republicans have wanted in exchange for funding Ukraine, Taiwan, Israel, Palestine. And the House, Mike Johnson, rejected it. Can't take him seriously. Yet they can impeach Mayorkas, but they won't actually pass the legislation that would actually solve the problem. That's what I mean by their viewers don't care. They just do what they're told. It's an illusion. It's carrying on the illusion. They had the ability to solve this. That's the whole thing. They had the ability to protect the jobs of these blue-collar working people. They chose not to do it. The lesson to be learned is the Page of Swords. I should say, they is the House. This is not the Senate. The Senate did their job. The House didn't do their job. The lesson learned is the Page of Swords. This literally is like the House telling the Senate what to do. And I'm not saying that this is going to get through as an impeachment. Where I'm more going with is the crazy House members are impacting the mature, pondering, contemplative senators. Because guess what? Who do they listen to? Who do those hard-working blue-collar people that are looking for their politicians, who do they listen to? Which news media organizations? OAN, Newsmax, Fox News. They don't question. They just listen and do that. Who's taking care of them? Is it the Senate Republicans who've created a bipartisan bill to protect the border? Verifiably true? Or is it the House Republicans who say it's all Mayorkas' fault and we need to blame him? See how that works? One way is to point the finger and blame somebody. I'm a victim and you're the perpetrator. The other one is, hey, we got this thing that can fix the problem. These people who don't do their own research, even when it's about anti-vaxxing and masking and stuff like that, they just listen to the news. The news is going to tell them there's a horrible thing at the border, and that's what they're going to believe. And rather than do something about it, they'd rather just point the fingers and be victimized. And it's the blue-haired, nose-pierced, woke teenagers that are the snowflakes. Got it. To steal Brian Tyler Cohen's little tagline there. What's the outcome? Knight of Pentacles. Way too many senators are going to deliver the goods for the MAGA folks. Because that's where the money is. That's where the money is. The money's with MAGA. If you don't have MAGA, you don't fundraise. You don't fundraise, you don't get reelected. The ones that are going for re-election this year absolutely have to toe the MAGA line. They have to toe this line. They cannot not toe the line. For those outside the United States watching this, Australia, Denmark, England, Ireland, Canada, and others, American politics is the biggest, most giant dumpster fire you could possibly imagine. All the stuff you hear in the news, yeah, it shows all the worst stuff. Maybe it makes it out worse than it really is, but it's really, really bad. Oh my God, I'm almost 60 years old. I have never seen it like this. Ugh. And I'm young relative to my audience. Oh dear. Okay. Do I really want to throw anything more on this? We've asked. Okay, we got the energy around Mayorkas. We asked about the Republicans and how they're going to do things. It's such a non-starter topic. I feel like I kind of want to throw in something, but I don't know what it's going to be. Senate Republican Whip John Thune has called Schumer to give the House GOP prosecutors ample time to present their arguments on the floor. Oh, that's good. Okay, let's do that. Marjorie Taylor Greene specifically, how is the general public going to view if the House Speaker prosecutors, and God darn it, Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of them. Oh my God. Remember I was just talking about dumpster fires? She is the embodiment of a dumpster fire. I know we normally like to associate it with Trump. She's right up there with it. Dunning-Kruger all the way. What do we got? Judgment and the Knight of Cups. Fake person, fake judgment. Good God. Just Dunning-Kruger, man, has no idea how unintelligent she is. And you can't tell her anything. That's the best part. All right, what do we got? What's the energy? Generally speaking, what's the energy going to be like with these House speakers, the House prosecutors, especially Marjorie Taylor Greene? Because it's just going to be how's the public going to look at this? That's what I want to know. How is the public going to look at this whole thing after the House speakers, prosecutors give their thing? Mostly, I think nobody's going to care. But those who do watch, Two of Swords. It's decision time. Yeah, it's been long past the decision time. And look, you got the eclipse happening over here too. Lunar eclipse. Twos and twos. Hey, we got the two theme going on again. Decision time, crossroads regarding agreements, contracts, between the reds and the blues and stuff like that. Oh dear. And the Hangman looking at things differently. They're going to be putting their crazy out there for everybody to see. This is and again, Hangman can be is a willing sacrifice. This thing, I think, is going to be an emotional cesspool of illogic. And it's just going to look, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a dumpster fire. And especially if you compare it to what the Democrats did with Trump when they had PowerPoint presentations and multimedia presentations and the whole thing that was captivating. If this is done with that in mind, yeah. You have to have people who care. Here's the thing. If you're going to try and do that multimedia presentation, you got to have people who care about this and are putting in good work. And working is hard. Lots of hard work has to go in to putting together a convincing impeachment trial. And they don't have the best and the brightest working on this. You've got a bunch of people copying off of other people's own work. Imagine being like one of like the 3 legit House members on this, and you've got 7 other clowns that are just copying your work. That's what this is going to be like. And I think saying 3 legitimate ones is being way too generous. It's going to be an emotional mess. Queen of Cups, this isn't keeping a cap on your emotions. This is letting it all hang out. This is going to be a mess. This is going to be an absolute mess. People are going to be looking at this thing. Oh, what a mess. Heartbreak, betrayal. Again, for some folks, this is going to be eye-opening. What's going on here? They just... It's like literally, this is the team I'm rooting for. I've been rooting for these people. I mean, I don't know how you not know about Marjorie Taylor Greene and everybody like that at this point. Not to mention, again, there's no there with this. This is just crazy. Lesson to be learned is the 3 of Cups. The Republicans have celebrated their victory in the House because they got that impeachment going on through there. But this victory they're going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory with this thing. The emotions, God. Knight of Swords in the outcome, things happening quickly, charging forward recklessly. This is not going to look like a well thought out, methodical presentation. This is going to be a fire and brimstone presentation about how the Biden administration in Mayorkas let things down, and it was only due to the hard work of these brave patriots that we can stop Mayorkas and stop everything happening at the border. In reality, it's going to be an emotional shit show. People are not going to believe this is what our government's devolved into, and that somehow the GOP is celebrating that. They're going to look reckless, unprepared, that they just rushed into this, and instead of, they'll be looking at them in a different light, but it's going to be in a sacrificial lamb sort of sight. Is that going to be a lot of people? No, because a lot of people aren't going to watch. If this would be like the Rotten Tomatoes review of it. I T-vote it. There's an old term that I don't think anybody does anymore. Maybe they do. I T-vote it. Should I watch it? Let me see the Rotten Tomatoes. Ooh, these Rotten Tomato scores are not very good. Maybe if you like watching people have absolute emotional meltdowns over things that are not issues. If you like dumpster fires, this is going to be your bag, baby. The soundbite should be amazing. I'm sure Fox News and OAN and Newsmax will have a field day because, again, you've got a bunch of performative people over there looking for sound bites. So there will be sound bites galore from all this. But anybody who's got a functioning organ between their ears, otherwise known as a brain, and an iota of critical thinking skills, they're probably going to be really, really embarrassed for their country, their party, and themselves with this. But I could be wrong. I'm not, but I could be wrong. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so that this video makes it out to a wider audience. To that wider audience, folks that are discovering this channel for the first time or recently. And there are a bunch of you. Thank you for finding us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.